I've been in the game for quite a while. I remember back in the day when Google first started, nobody knew what Google was except for Sergey and Larry. They used to call it backrub.com. And later I used to work on another network called Overture. And we had a directory called Smart Pages that was tied with AOL and Southwestern Bell. There was Lycos, Alta Vista, Netscape, Ask Jeeves, which was Ask.com later when purchased by Google. MSN was Microsoft Networks, AOL, America Online, Dogpile, Netscape. Let's see what else comes up. This was back in the day when we used to just use Dreamweaver. Man, I remember those templates. I used to have to create the backdrop. I used to have to create the background, and then I had to create frames. And then I would get you on the first page of Google. People lost their minds when I offered the first page of Google back then. It wasn't easy. It was easy maybe the first year or so, but after a while, people would cheat so bad. And then there was, of course, pay-per-click advertising, which was on the right side and at the very top. And then in the middle, we call that organic. And I could get you there by working on your SEO. That was the only way to get there. And that was competitive at the time. But there was no price. There was no cost associated with SEO. But we used to charge about $5,000 a month to get you there. Mobile SEO. Do you remember these phones? That's a BlackBerry. I had a BlackBerry. I had a Flip. I had all of these phones in the beginning. I used to change phones with each model to try to impress my customer and show them how cutting edge I was. Look at that. Facebook was terrible on the mobile phone too. All you could see really was the banner. Remember when the first Facebook profile came out? That's all you could have was a Facebook profile. But back then you might have 2 or 3 of them because they weren't able to stop you. So people just used to create Facebook pages and name their page their business. Their first name, half their business, their last name, the other half their business. Facebook eventually stopped that. Now going on Facebook is like breaking the law. Looking back at my portfolio when I was doing website design, that was a time. Like I said, back then, there was no web builders. You had to make it yourself. You had to know how to use HTML and use Dreamweaver. Angel Fire, that was free. Joomla, Ning.com. Ooh, Ning. I used to love Ning. It was free for a long time, and then they started charging for it. And they charged a lot. Those were the days. Trying to get you to the top of Yahoo, because Yahoo was the king then. Google had just started. Man. I remember the Overture network. That's what it looked like. Wasn't that many search engines back then. It's the same ones. Lycos, Alta Vista, Fast, Dogpile, Netscape, the ones I mentioned earlier. MSN. And Google right there in the middle. Well, that was simple. There was the online directories. There was about 10 to 20 of them. And then there was Google Maps, MapQuest, and Superpages.com if you want to show up on somebody's map. I sold all of them. You know, I grew up in this industry, and I learned my way around. And my business is based on return on investment. It was called ROI Local. And I had an online directory, which was like my own Yellow Pages. I had about 333 clients that first year on that Yellow Pages. Someone that knows someone that you need to know. And I was selling Yellow Page advertising. I wonder if they still have the Yellow Pages. I don't know, but you can still call Kirk Lockhart. You could do that then. You can do it now. The number's the same too. 972-825-7524. And my page used to be called Kirk's Friends DFW because I knew everybody in Dallas-Fort Worth and I could just hook people up all day long. But when I realized that it would be easier to connect people on the internet, I kind of lost my mind. By taking you out the phone book and putting you online, I'm making you visible. I'm making you local. not just to people who look in the yellow pages, but to the entire city, the entire state, the entire area, the entire world. The internet was the most amazing invention that I was able to live through. History. And it continues today. Ask Kirk Lockhart.